What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is the Game Point YouTube channel where we cover everything NBA, WNBA basketball. We're going to be getting into it. Rumors, trades, game recaps, player ratings, analysis, the history of the game, history, players in history. We're going down every week. We're going through everything on this channel, y'all. So I want y'all to come along with me on this journey. And at some point, I'm probably going to do a proper intro video, but I really want to get into it with you guys about what just happened in the WNBA finals. So, in case you guys didn't know, the Chicago Sky just defeated the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA finals, and the series was 3-1 with the Chicago Sky coming out on top. Kalia Copper was the WNBA Finals MVP for the Chicago Sky, averaging 17 points and 5 rebounds a game. And so, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This finals was significant for a number of reasons. One of the reasons was that we had a lot of GOAT activity on the floor. We literally had 3 players from the WNBA's top 25. In case you guys don't know what that is, that's, the WNBA pretty much selected the top 25 players in its 25 years existence. And we had three of those players taking the floor in this final series. So that was very significant. Candace Parker from the Chicago Sky, Brittany Grinier from the Phoenix Mercury, and Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury. So guys, that was reason alone to pay attention and watch what was going on in this series. So I'm going to get into a little bit about what happened in the finals. And for you guys who watch, it'll be a kind of bit, a bit of a recap. We can go down in the comments and kind of talk about, some other things that happened. And for those who didn't watch, you can learn a little bit about, some of the players who played in this final series. And on top of that, who knows, you may get a little bit interested and actually tune into, what's going on with the WNBA next season. But I'm telling you, it's worth watching because they can ball. So the series ended 3-1 with the Chicago Sky coming out on top. And I'll be honest with you, I did think that the series would have been a little bit closer than it was, but we still got a fairly competitive series. Game 1 of the series was a blowout. The Chicago Sky, the way that they play a very up and down brand of basketball. And like literally from positions like 1 to 4, Candace Parker, um, Kalia Copper, Quigley, and Courtney Vandersloot, all of them can get the ball and go. All of them can handle the ball at a pretty high level and create or knock down shots. So even though they came into this playoff series as a 6 seed, when they're playing in tip top shape, when they're playing at their peak, they can beat anybody. So they pretty much enacted their will, and I thought game 1 really set the tone for the entire series. They played the brand of basketball they wanted, getting up and down the floor, knocking down shots from the perimeter, playing just really, really inspiring basketball. They did not, look at any point in the series, even the game that they lost, they did not look like they just lacked in spirit, like they could not come back or fight. So they completely annihilated the Mercury in game 1. Game 2, the Phoenix Mercury came back and they were able to win the game in overtime. I think the score was 91-86. You had Diana Taurasi who scored 20 points. In the fourth quarter, she started knocking down clutch buckets, and in overtime, she was knocking down clutch buckets. She was voted, by the fans as the WNBA GOAT. And this game showed a big reason why a lot of people believe that she's the GOAT. Whether she's the GOAT or not, that's a discussion for another day that we can definitely have. But she showed her chops, she showed her merit, in game 2. Brittany Grinier was the force that carried them, though. In case y'all don't know, Brittany Grinier is 6'9" and just a complete unstoppable force. In the postseason, and in the regular season, there's not really too many people that can match up with her one-on-one, especially with her 6'9" frame. But she's not just big; she's also very skilled and also athletic. She's the only WNBA player that's just dunking like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like She has the most dunks in WNBA history. And she's a very high IQ, intelligent player too. She's not just big for nothing. You know, she can bang down low. She can step out and hit the mid range. She's patient with passing, and she's a willing passing big. So she's kind of like that throwback traditional big that's playing still, but she has an updated skill set too. So she really carried them in game two, and Diana Taurasi kind of finished it off, you know, as the closer. Game three, Chicago Sky got back to doing what they're doing, just up and down, blew them out the water. You know, Talia Copper was just is her first step is so explosive. It's nobody could stay in front of her. Diana Taurasi, she's a little bit older, even though she did a lot of GOAT activity in this series. There's a little bit of GOAT activity from her. She could not stay in front of the young buck Kalia Copper though. And then also Sophie Cunningham, who is the other defensive wing, you know, on the roster, who's pretty. She's an energetic player off the bench. She couldn't stay in front of her either. Nobody could stay in front of her, and she really probably put her exclamation mark on the series in this game. Um, with her scoring, yeah, I think she had like 21, 22 points by the end of the game. But, you know, from knocking down threes and getting in the paint, she just looked like she couldn't be stopped. And then game four, we it was a much closer game. This one wasn't at least, you know, a blowout. Game three, Chicago Sky maybe won by 14, 15 points. But game four, the final game of the series where the Chicago Sky won, the Phoenix Mercury actually held the lead for most of the first half. Brittany Grinier was really putting in work early. I think she had like 11 or 12 first half points. But then Chicago Sky just came back and just playing that inspiring basketball. Phoenix Mercury never really matched their energy, the athleticism, and really not even the athleticism, the versatility of the Chicago Sky between Candace Parker, who, you know, she's 6'4", and can run the floor and create, you know, for her teammates, which is a rarity, you know, in the WNBA where you have somebody at that size that can move like she can and has the vision of a point guard. And then you have Courtney Vandersloot. I haven't really talked about her, but it was debatable if she could have actually won the Finals MVP instead of Kalia Copper because she broke she broke quite a few assist records in these WNBA playoffs and in the finals. And without her leadership on the floor, without her poise and timely baskets and controlling of the pace of the game, we may have been talking about a different series. I think Phoenix may have actually stood a chance. But with Chicago Sky clicking on all cylinders, it was just very hard for them to overcome. And honestly, they really played Brittany Grinier well in single coverage. The Chicago Sky's two centers, Dolson and Stevens, they got two different skill sets. Stevens is a bit more of a hard nosed player, you know, getting rebounds and playing defense. She did a solid job. Of course, the whole team played good defense on Grinier, but she did a really solid job, you know, just kind of hustling. And then Dolson, you know, she had such a wide body and she was able to knock down so many threes. And Brittany Grinier had to come out on the perimeter, 6'9", so you know she's bigger, so a little bit slower. But having to get out on the perimeter and try to block the shot of the other team center is something she's probably not used to. So the Chicago Sky just felt like really just had too many weapons for them. And, you know, ultimately that was Phoenix's undoing. I just don't think that their team just was not versatile enough. And honestly, Skylar Diggins Smith, she made all WNBA first team this season along with Brittany Grinier. But I got to be honest, I don't think she showed up in the series as much as the Phoenix Mercury needed her to. So I think that really hurt him because she has that ability to be that dynamic and control the pace of the game. But I felt like she faded in and out a little bit too much, and sometimes she got a little bit. And when she did assert herself, it was a little bit too much, like too many forced shots, or forced drives to the baskets, forced passes. And I felt like that really hurt the Mercury because they really needed her offense bad, especially with Diana Taurasi. She came into the series a little, wobbly and injured. So Skylar Diggins Smith not performing up to par really, really, really hurt them. And also, I'm not going to disregard Kia Nurse, one of the forwards on the Phoenix Mercury. She was out. They could have used her, defensive prowess definitely against Kalia Copper of the Chicago Sky, because Kalia Copper, again, she won WNBA Finals MVP. She just completely carved them up the entire series. So that's kind of a bit of the breakdown, guys. If you guys want to talk some more, I guess, about what happened in the finals, feel free to comment down below. If you like the content, I ask you guys to please subscribe. Again, I got big plans for this channel. And I think that, again, there's just so much that the WNBA has to offer. It's worth paying attention to, guys. If nothing else, this postseason, I watched every postseason game, and I'm trying to tell you guys, the games were fire. The the WNBA finals, the series ended 3-1, but I'm telling you, I think that overall, the product is so potent that the 3-1 doesn't really represent how good that the series actually was. So anyway, guys, I want y'all to go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and keep checking for my channel. I got a lot of videos coming, and I appreciate you guys checking me out, and I will holler at you guys next time. Peace.